Welcome to the Road to Kyoto podcast from the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime. I'm Ian Tennant. The Road to Kyoto is a series of discussions with some of the leading experts who study and track organised crime and related policy challenges. We're speaking ahead of the UN Crime Congress, which takes place every 5 years. The Congress is an opportunity for the international community to come together to make progress on countering organised crime and the damage it does around the world. This year's Congress was scheduled to take place in April in Kyoto, Japan, but has been postponed due to the coronavirus. It's not yet clear when the Congress will take place. Today we will be discussing the role of civil society groups at the Congress with the chair of the Alliance of NGOs on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, Alvazzi del Frate. Civil society groups in Vienna have recently come together to form a new alliance on NGOs for crime prevention and criminal justice, and Alvazzi del Frate is here with us today. She's the chair of that new alliance, and she will be representing the alliance at the Congress, as well as ongoing meetings at the UN on crime issues. So firstly, Anna, welcome, and can you tell us a little bit about the alliance and how it came into existence?
Thank you. Hello. Well, the Alliance of NGOs on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice is not really new. It's something that has existed since the establishment of a crime prevention and criminal justice program at the United Nations in the early 80s. So it is something that existed in a very light format. It was a loose association of members, and what is new now is the establishment of a new legal entity, something that is more structured and registered with the Austrian authorities as an NGO under Austrian law. So the Alliance now enjoys statute and a board of elected members, and a more clear relationship with the UNODC, that is the secretariat to the program, and also towards member states.
And how many members does the alliance have so far?
At the moment we have some 60 registered members, and we are reaching out to many other interested parties who want to become members. The membership is open to organizations with ECOSOC status, but also without ECOSOC status, but who are engaged in activities that are relevant to the program. For example, those organizations who can attend conference of parties for the UNCAC or the GI-TOC conventions, or those who would be able to register for the Crime Congress, for example. And we also have individual members.
I mean, clearly the Crime Congress is an opportunity to influence policy and to network with member states and with other civil society. I mean, what do you see as the main benefits for a civil society organisation to attend an event like the Crime Congress?
Of course, the Alliance, being an umbrella organisation, tries to facilitate the participation of NGOs and other civil society organisations in events, big events like the Congress. You can imagine these are events attended by thousands of people. For Kyoto, we are expecting approximately 300 side events, ancillary meetings. It may be really intimidating and difficult to navigate for newcomers. So umbrella organizations like the Alliance may help in providing information, in translating some of the key issues that are being discussed at the Congress into streams of work and possibly events that can be attended to provide information on interesting issues.
And will you represent all the civil society through the Alliance at the Congress itself? For example, will there be a statement, do you think?
Yes, we have already booked a space for making a statement on behalf of all the members of the Alliance at the high-level segment of the Congress. This is the first couple of days of the Congress, where all states will make statements, followed then by international organizations and civil society organizations who can convey the voice of many of their members at the same time.
Now to turn a little bit more to the policy issues that will be discussed. I mean, your background is in small arms. What do you think are the main challenges facing the international community at the moment, and what do you think the Congress could say about these issues when it meets in Kyoto?
Well, the issue of arms control is not really being dealt with in the Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice Program. It's something that has taken some time to be aligned as a part of this program. It is much clearer through the GI-TOC convention because of the firearm protocol, of course, where you find the obvious match for this type of issues. But for the Crime Congress per se, there is one part of a workshop that deals with illicit trafficking in firearms, and it is workshop 4 that will deal with this particular topic. It is not really part of the big discussion, and we also see that in terms of ancillary meetings, there is only 2 meetings that are explicitly making reference to firearms. But the bigger issue that is of, say, firearm violence and prevention of violence, that is something that is at the core of the discussion. We have quite a lot of work that is being done in the prevention of violence and prevention of violence against women in particular, and a push that has been given recently by the alignment of the discussion with the Sustainable Development Goals. So making this type of discussion that happens within the framework of the Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice Program, matching some of the objectives or the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals in terms of violence reduction, in terms of prevention of violence, in terms of reducing violence against children, violence against women, etc., etc.
Interesting that you mentioned the Sustainable Development Goals, because clearly that was an agreement that was reached after the last Crime Congress in Doha in 2015. How important is it, do you think, for the international community gathering in Kyoto to make reference to the SDGs and make sure things are aligned?
Well, the Agenda 2030 is an amazing framework. For me, I always consider that a miracle of diplomacy, and I think it's a very very reference for everything that the United Nations are doing at the moment. So it is true they were adopted just a few months after the Doha Congress, but at the Congress in Doha, we were really looking forward to that, and a lot of the discussion in Doha was already pushing for this adoption, let's say. So what we expect from Kyoto is now to take stock of 5 years of work on the Sustainable Development Goals. The language is much more familiar now. It took some time for this community, for the Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice community, to familiarize with the language of the SDGs. But in reality, we see that the connection with development is key for crime prevention and criminal justice, and the use, adoption of some of the concepts and some of the language and frameworks of the Agenda 2030 is going to be very beneficial for this discussion.
What other key issues are you hearing, something that will be priorities for your membership of the Alliance, or that you think will be important in the political discussions at the Congress?
Our members have a very, very broad range of backgrounds. They go from issues related to women, to youth, prisons, preventing trafficking in persons, helping the professional work that surrounds this area of crime prevention and criminal justice. So I think that for them there may be some cross-cutting issues that are becoming very important. For example, at the Congress there is quite a lot of discussion on data, on the importance of data collection and analysis to support assessing effectiveness and impact of policies. This is something that practically everybody can relate to, and it's going to be quite important for our members as well.
You've spoken a lot about some of the issues that were going to be discussed and how the Alliance will be representing civil society at the Congress and what civil society can do there. But how does a civil society organisation or an individual sign up to become a member and benefit from being a member of the Alliance?
Right. The alliance is, as I said, quite new in terms of the new structure in its new format, but we have recently launched a new website that is crimealliance.org. That website, there is all the information that may be useful to register. It's possible to register with one click. The benefits, I hope, that are quite evident from accessing information that may be useful, practical information, logistics, and also the possibility to access a community that is likely to speak the same language and provide useful space for discussion on topics of interest.
I think certainly from our perspective, from the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime, we're noticing an increased interest in civil society organisations wanting to work on these issues. So we think it's very important for umbrella organisations such as the Alliance to be there. Before we finish, kind of looking beyond the Congress, there are a couple of other important events later in the year, and I presume the Alliance will be active both at the Crime Commission, the CCPCJ, and the UNTOC Conference of Parties later in the year. Do you have any plans for those meetings?
Okay, there is one thing that I forgot to mention is that, of course, at the Congress in Kyoto, we will have dedicated space to meet with the members and with any interested NGO or individual participating there. We will have one event on day one, so that is before the official program starts, so that can serve as guidance for those who want to participate. And another one that will be later in the week and may start looking at how this is going and the way forward. Indeed, there is commission, this session, the annual session of the Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice is from the 18th to the 22nd of May, I think. And in the year when there is the Congress, the Commission generally meets almost exclusively to adopt one resolution that is reflecting the discussion held at the Congress. But the very lively space surrounding the Crime Commission is always occupied by side events that are on a variety of topics. So what we expect is to organize at least one side event, if not more. For one, we already have some ideas, and we will be looking at getting together with other umbrella organizations. And definitely in October, there is the Conference of Parties for the UN Convention on Transnational Organized Crime. This is something that happens every second year, and it is a space where civil society, I think, is still trying to organize itself in a more meaningful way, also considering the very, very recent development of the adoption of the review mechanism. So we look forward to partner with groups like the Global Initiative to work together in a meaningful way.
Of course, the Global Initiative will be working with the Alliance and with the UN Office on Drugs and Crime to help coordinate the civil society input into the UN Convention Against Transnational Organised Crimes review mechanism, which will be launched at this Conference of Parties in October. So we very much look forward to that. Thank you very much, Anna Alvazzi del Frate, and good luck with your preparations for the Congress.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Take a moment to leave us a review. They help us get noticed and improve the show. For more on organised crime, head over to our website, www.globalinitiative.net. You can also follow us across social media by searching for the Global Initiative. This show was produced by Jack Megan Vickers with help from Paulina Russell Barris. I'm Ian Tennant. Thanks for listening.